Years later, I'm the prince, bro. I can never be gay, bro. I got 2 sons, bro.
We can never be gay.
I ain't gay. The weed, by how fat these blunts is, you know I ain't gay.
The leaked audio of the 911 call reporting Rich Homie Quan's death has just surfaced, and fans believe the true cause of his passing may be far more sinister than it seems.
I'm along with you, okay?
Okay.
Amber 911, operator 7214. What is the location of your emergency? All right, you need police, fire, or ambulance?
I need an ambulance.
Tell me exactly what happened.
My boyfriend, he's been asleep on the couch since this morning. Well, he never came to bed last night. Sleep on the couch. I left him on the couch before I took my son to school this morning, put a blanket over him. And now I just checked on him again because he never got up. I don't feel a heartbeat. I don't see him breathing.
And you said, hold on, you said on the couch, and what happened?
I said I put a cover over him because it gets a little cool. He's in the living room. And now I just checked on him because I see he never got up. And I don't see him breathing. I don't feel a heartbeat or anything. And I turned him over. I see he kind of foamed at the mouth.
I'm sorry, are you saying he's not breathing? Is that correct? I'm not hearing you.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
Is there a what?
If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay, I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
Okay.
On September 5th, 2024, Rich Homie Quan's girlfriend called 911 after finding him unresponsive on the couch. He wasn't breathing, and she desperately pleaded for paramedics to come and save him. Tragically, it was later revealed that Quan had passed away from an alleged codeine and fentanyl overdose. During the call, his girlfriend can be heard trying to revive him, telling the operator that he had foam around his mouth.
I need to know about how old he is.
He's 34.
Okay, are you right by him now?
Yes.
Okay, please put your phone on speaker so your hands are free to help.
Can I add his dad to the call? He's trying to call me back because I called him first before I called you.
Okay, so we need to help your boyfriend now. Okay, listen carefully. Lay him flat on his back on the floor and remove anything under his head.
He is not waking up. Quick.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, you gotta get him to the floor. Lay him flat on his back on the floor and remove anything under his head.
Flat on his back on the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
Help me.
What's Drake?
He's not here.
Yeah,
were you able to get him to the floor?
Yes, he's not. His heart not beating or anything.
An investigation into Rich Homie Quan's death later revealed that he struggled with drug addiction and had been given pills laced with fentanyl by someone in Hollywood.
A month after his passing, a cause of death has now been released for Atlanta rapper Rich Homie Quan.
Medical examiners say he died from an accidental overdose. They found 4 substances, including fentanyl and codeine, in his system. After his death, Quan's brother told police he thought he was asleep on the floor by the kitchen. Rich Homie Quan was one of the biggest names in hip-hop, especially in the city of Atlanta. He was 33 years old.
Rich Homie Quan had been open about his struggles with addiction for years. During an interview on No Jumper, he revealed that, at one point, he had become so dependent on drugs that he was taking Molly every day for 2 years straight. His battle with substance abuse was evident when he passed out during a show in Atlanta, collapsing on set in Piedmont Park. He was rushed to a nearby hospital after reportedly suffering 2 seizures and hitting his head. While Quan denied that his collapse was caused by drug use, he remained candid about his struggles.
But I'm partying so hard and I'm on the Molly so gone. I'm thinking it's hard.
That was your biggest issue at that time?
Yeah, Molly. I was on that Molly like every day, bro.
You weren't a lean guy as much?
Yeah.
Lean at Molly.
But I still silk, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, like Molly had me gone, bro. I was like on Molly, like them rich gang days, like I was on Molly probably like 2 years straight, like every day. Like I'm taking Molly before I go brush my teeth.
Jeez.
You feel me?
And so that's no way to live.
No way to live, bro. But then that's when I started feeling like my music was like falling out. I was caught up, like I was lost in the South.
Right.
Cause when I'm doing the Molly right now, I'm up, like Flex, my biggest song, you know what I'm saying? By myself, double platinum, like I'm up.
According to Hurricane Chris, fentanyl-laced drugs are widespread on the streets, and he believes Quan may have unknowingly taken some of those counterfeit pills.
Good attitude, never talked bad about anybody, was happy to be in the position that he's in, but they're saying it's over an overdose.
That's some fake ass pills, bro. 9 times out of 10, it's probably them fake ass pills. Like, I don't knock nobody who do what they do, but it's too dangerous to get anything off the streets. I don't know if that's the case, but it need to be said anyway. Like, this shit is fucked up, bro.
If you're doing street drugs in 2024, you must not like living all that much.
Facts. Like, you gambling with your life when you swallow that pill that you got from your homeboy. Even if he said he got it from the doctor, like, don't believe that shit. If you didn't go to a doctor and get that shit as your medication, don't take it. Even if somebody's selling it to you, got the pill bottle. There could be an old pill bottle they had, and they putting new fake pills in it. Like, it's a dangerous game if you out here taking drugs. You gotta really, like, pay attention.
Quan was involved with some shady individuals, and while under the influence of drugs, had even committed multiple burglaries. He admitted that he and his friends would get high and break into homes during the day, stealing small items. They were careful to avoid occupied houses, knowing that getting caught trespassing while someone was inside would lead to harsher prison sentences.
I took that little trick and made it my trick, and that trick was burglary.
So actually going in people's cribs.
Going, kicking in door. But not no home invasion. We wasn't going in there when nobody was there. I wasn't going to nobody. I wasn't going to nobody's house when nobody was there. It was only like, you know what I'm saying? Like during the day. I wouldn't even do no cat time burglary at night because you get more time for that. So we'll do daytime burglary. Because cat time burglary, you getting way more time for that. So wait till you go to work in the morning. Oh, kick your shit in. We don't want
even at that young age, you was aware of the law. Like, yo, if I do this at night, I'm getting more time.
I'm smart as hell. You gotta think. So I know that. Like, yeah, so like, if I'm gonna get some money, then I ain't never been to jail. So you gotta think, like, my first time doing it, I got locked up. My first time doing it, my first burglary, I get locked up. But it wasn't my fault because this would really put me on burglary. I got a buddy, he was my best friend in high school, one of my best friends, DeAndre. Shout out my boy DeAndre.
Who provided Quan with the laced pills? According to online rumors, it was a dealer connected to Diddy. Allegedly, Diddy had it out for Quan due to his beef with Young Thug and some disrespectful comments Quan made during an Instagram Live. Diddy has a history of violence. He reportedly had Kid Cudi's car blown up just because Cudi was friends with Cassie. Diddy doesn't take disrespect lightly, and to make things even more suspicious, Kim Porter was also found with foam around her mouth, just like Quan.
Miss Ventura that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and then he wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. Around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. So now we have that allegation, and we have the mention of arson in the indictment. But then we go to the government's bail letter that they filed with the court. They were advocating that Combs be denied bail. He has been twice. And they allege, quote, in the early morning hours of December 22nd, 2011, the defendant and a co-conspirator kidnapped an individual at gunpoint to facilitate breaking into and entering the residence of Individual 1. By the way, Individual 1 is not named, but we'll get to that. Multiple witnesses would testify at trial to the events surrounding the kidnapping and break-in, the latter of which is corroborated by police reports and other records. Approximately 2 weeks later, the defendant's co-conspirators set fire to individual one's vehicle by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping a Molotov cocktail inside the interior. Police and fire department reports extensively document the arson and conclude that the fire was intentionally set. Multiple witnesses would also testify to the defendant bragging about his role in destroying individual one's car. Hence, why we can make the argument that they are referencing Kid Cudi. This echoes Ventura and the indictment.
There are allegations that Diddy fostered an environment of violence in Hollywood. According to officers involved in the raid of his mansion, the sheer amount of drugs, weapons, and other disturbing items found suggested that he was even worse than Epstein. Diddy has been accused of engaging in arson, assault, and even forced prostitution as a means of retaliating against those who crossed him. Allegedly, back in 1999, he was even involved in a shooting.
He's at a party. You know, for years, P. Diddy's gotten a hall pass. He's actually created his own kingdom where he makes his own rules, and you got to follow his rules or you get penalized. And guess what, Laura? He's now in a federal penitentiary, and for the first time in his life, he's facing his own fate at the hands of somebody else. And I will tell you, Laura, I've done federal cases, that's not the place you want to be in federal court. 90% of federal criminal indictments brought down are pled out, right? A plea deal is brought. And of the only 10% left, 90% of those defendants that go to trial, they lose. So he is looking at a daunting uphill battle to fight these horrible charges.
Now, Brian, one of the DHS agents involved in this raid on his Miami mansion described what he saw inside the house, saying that, in my opinion, he's as bad as Epstein. These women are young, either barely legal or barely illegal. Brian, this sounds like he was a monster.
Yeah, Laura, I will tell you that this indictment was very detailed, by the way, too. Your viewers should know there were over 300 subpoenas served, over 50 witnesses interviewed. Why is that important? Because the federal prosecutors aren't going to be leveling an indictment like this unless they have ammunition and they have cause to bring it.
In the court of public opinion, the media, it's about timing. You build people up, you tear them down. These are not new allegations against him. They're just making a new approach at attacking him. That's fine. That's one discussion about our culture and canceling. But legally, a bulletproof indictment, I can't believe that prosecutors are looking at bad behavior from his college days. What do you think this is about?
Well, all I can say is if the Southern District of New York has a grand jury investigation, they're going to cross every T and dot every I, and this is not good news for Diddy. And as I understand it, they're calling in male and female people involved in sex trafficking, and this could be a major indictment probably in about 4 to 5 months. They're not going to do it right away.
Was Diddy using drugs to control other celebrities in the music industry? According to his former assistant, Philip Pines, the answer is yes. Pines claims that Diddy would invite people he wanted leverage over to his parties, where he would get them intoxicated and hooked on drugs. Once they were under the influence, Diddy allegedly recorded them and later used the footage for blackmail. He even reportedly pressured his friends into trying drugs, something that, according to rumors, his sons are now being accused of as well.
New details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you would have him with a younger female, and there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
Yes.
One of the things is, I mean, the thing that stuck out to me, you mentioned it before, these allegations are so consistent with what the allegations are that are laid out by prosecutors when they describe the freak-offs in their indictment, right? These sex-fueled parties, these drug-fueled parties, the baby oil, the Astroglide, and it makes me wonder, A, do you think Mr. Pines is a cooperating witness for the government? B, if so, do you think he was one of the people that they originally spoke to when they were coming up with this, when they were drafting the indictment and coming up with the charges? Or do you think he's come out after? Because again, I think the timing of the lawsuit's important too, at the end of the year, right now. Talk to me about what you think his role might be.
If I had to guess, I would figure that the feds already talked to him, just because I know from my experience dealing with them how all-encompassing their investigations are. And if he really was his executive assistant from the time frame that they allege in the lawsuit, I can't see a scenario where they wouldn't. I mean, they investigate regular cases to the point that that I'm shocked when I see it as a criminal defense attorney with regular people. When you're talking about a high-profile celebrity case like this, I can't fathom that no one spoke to this individual prior to this. So I would think that they did speak to him. And I can't imagine that he's not a witness, because the way that they work is they want everybody that can corroborate their theory of the case to be on their witness list, or to be somebody that they could call. And I can't think that if he actually was his assistant for this time frame, he would be an excellent witness.